Hello traders, welcome on a Sunday in the FTA, welcome on Sunday Focus. As every Sunday, we're gonna have a look at BTC chart, Euro USD chart, gold chart, and we will do the preparation for the upcoming 5 days. So we're gonna be checking the most important levels that we currently have, and we will also be checking some potential trade setups that we can have for upcoming, let's say, 24 to 48 hours. We'll see how it goes. We also gonna check some news that we have or that we are expecting this week. So we just gotta prepare for the upcoming 5 days because, as I'm saying all the time, being prepared is already a big edge over the others. That's why we do Sunday Focus. That's why we are preparing every single Sunday, marking out the important levels and simply going in depth on a chart. All right, cool. So we're gonna start with BTC chart because this chart is probably the cleanest that we have today. So we're gonna break it down. I'll show you some of the levels that I'm currently paying attention to right now and what I'm expecting from BTC. What we will do is we start on 4-hour time frame. Let me just double check if everything is running. I think it should be, but it's always good to make sure. So I'm just gonna open YouTube live stream, so I'll also be able to check the comments that we have below the stream. Hopefully guys, you enjoyed your weekend. Hopefully you spent some time with family and friends. It's always very important. Yes, seems like everything is running well. It's all good. Perfect. All right. So let's start. 4-hour time frame. Let's mark out some of the levels that we are paying attention to. As I was saying here on, I think Thursday's live session, live trading that we did here, Billions Club. I've been saying for last 4 days, 5 days actually. Also, you can check Discord, that this is the important level that is currently holding the price action from basically 23rd of June, we can say. So from 23rd of June, we keep holding this level, which means that right now we keep holding this level for over 16 days. So this level down there around 30K is very important because of two aspects. It's obviously demand, but it's also a psychological level. So from psychology perspective, people are simply willing to buy 30K. That's why we keep getting some bounce out of these levels, or out of this level down there that is below us here. What we will do is we will try to break down the current market structure. It haven't changed yet from Thursday's live stream, but let's do a smaller recap of what we are paying attention to here. So obviously we got to break up a structure, right? Here it's a bit tricky. It's up to you what point you're gonna select. Personally, I'm selecting this point. It won't make a big difference if you're gonna select this one or this one, because the current low, the current strong low is gonna be the same. So this is the strong low that you have on a BTC chart. What it means, what is a strong low, how it is important for me. Well, it's pretty simple. Once we are above this level from a swing perspective, meaning long-term perspective, we are remaining bullish. So that's simply this low that we have here on the chart needs to basically hold the price if you are talking about some long-term bull market. Once we will close below the level, and what I mean by closing is when it's like a really important level, really like a key level on a chart, it's always good to see at least, 6, 8, maybe 12 hours price, like closing below it and spend some time below the level, then it's confirmed. Obviously, what can happen is you're gonna just grab a liquidity below the low, closing 4-hour candle, spend some time, 2, 3, 4 hours, and then get acceptance back above the level. And this was only a fake out. This can happen. So remember my words, mark my words. We need to spend at least, I would say, 8 to 12 hours, something like this. Obviously, more time we spend here, more volume we get here, the more valuable or more stronger it's gonna be. All right, so from swing term perspective, this is a strong low. We don't have to do anything else here. Internal low, internal high. That is the local structure that we are currently paying attention to. Once again, BTC is remaining between or ranging between two levels, basically between the low and a high here, and we keep grabbing liquidity. You could be wondering, or you may be wondering, where is the next liquidity sitting? We're gonna go more in depth. We're gonna be checking exo charts or the flow, and simply we will try to work out where's the next big amount of liquidity sitting. But just to highlight this to you, this was the first liquidity swept, moved to the upside, to a next liquidity point, moved to the downside. So two liquidity levels swept. Now we have some liquidity left below this previous low here and above this previous high. So in order to really like analyze where is the big amount of liquidity, we got to use something more, which is going to be this 15-minute time frame. We can just reload the chart. Like this. Let's actually go up to 1 hour. I wouldn't go above 1 hour if we are talking about local liquidity, which you actually don't have a lot. No, not at all. Like, one could say, okay, there is a liquidity below this low here and above this high here. But if you want to be really precise, then the liquidity is probably around 30,040, and then one was swept already on this low. So the liquidity is not really here from really local perspective, and I'm talking about last, let's say, 20 hours. Then we have some liquidity sitting below this low. Is it a strong one? Well, let me analyze this a bit more in depth, but I wouldn't say so. Okay, we got some new longs. They are kicked out kind of already. Like, if you are talking about liquidity, then we have more above this high here. So locally, stronger point from liquidity perspective is this one here. That is a local liquidity level that we currently have. But we are talking about the overall bigger structure. So let's go back to here. Let's try to use 4 hour. If we can find anything here, I wouldn't say so, but let's just double check it. Okay, and it sort of started to increase from this point, kind of. This was really the top here. They're not stopped out completely. So yeah, we have some shorts left for potential grab. And on long side, it's pretty choppy. Nothing really like easily visible here, to be fair. There will be obviously some liquidity above the high and above the low. So these are like two visible points that we currently have. Be aware of these two levels. There is some amount of liquidity, not a big amount of it. So keep that in mind. I will be paying attention to these levels on from a long run perspective or long-term perspective. So 4 hour time frame. Going down to 15-minute, here it's going to be a bit more fun, I would say, because we got to spot a strong low and a strong high. So strong low is basically the internal high that we got on 4 hour time frame, and the weak high is obviously this one right here. That is key. This one is still valid, even though it was put in around 3rd of July. So this one was put in on 3rd of July. That means around 6-7 days back. It depends when you are watching this live stream, but this is still a valid high. Internal structure, meaning more local levels, I'll be paying attention to the internal low that is here. And this is going to be the internal high. Means that we need to cancel this level here. So internal low, internal high. This was the local demand. This one is mitigated already. Here. So this one is filled. This one created the break of a structure. We are talking about the internal structure, so this is going to be an IBOS. we really gotta spot the demand point that created the move to the upside, which is gonna be probably this zone here. Yeah, like this is the next potential zone that we got. Thinking about these levels up here. Mitigated. All right. Do we have any big important supply above us? No. Do we have any demand below us? No. So we got kind of a two levels. Obviously, first one here. Is it a strong one? Absolutely not. Is it in favor with the trend? Yes, kind of. So the POI, point of interest number one, is going to be here. I'm looking for either absorption around this level or liquidity grab. Nothing else. That's a simple plan, and you really gotta stick to it. Because if we want to, if you will be overcomplicating things and trying to go more in depth and so on, it's not going to be beneficial at all. So one level here, it's either going to be hit, we're either going to get the reaction that we are looking for, or we're not going to enter a position, or obviously we can get stopped out. But this is the only level that I'll be paying attention to, even as you can see, from NPOC perspective, we don't have anything here. If we close this was an IBOS, internal breakover structure. That means that we have two important supply levels. One is here and the second one is a bit above it, but this level is really far away, and we are talking about approximately something around 3%, I guess. Yeah, 3% exactly. All right, cool. So this is going to be the first supply level, but you get what I'm trying to tell you. It's really far away, so the likelihood that it's going to be hit soon is not big, and until then, most likely we will have another live trading session. What about this? Let's open the TPO. No poor high, no poor low. So far, from what I see, I'm pretty neutral on BTC, to be fair. Don't see much here. 30,400 is CME. That means 30,400. Yeah, even from a CME perspective, we just don't have a lot of it. There will be some liquidity created above these highs here. This is going to be the local supply. So like this is the only level I will be paying attention to, really. So we have our zones for Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow we will have another live trading session. So we will be paying attention to these two levels. Support, resistance. That's it. Alrighty, cool. So what we gotta do now is let's switch this to Euro USD chart, and let's pay attention to some trades here, or some let's do some TA here. For our time frame, we switched, or we flipped the internal structure. So currently we are around the extreme. What it means? Well, one could say, okay, we are bullish, kind of, but overall, we keep holding the downtrend here. So I'm being pretty cautious on Euro USD, to be fair, because once again, we are close to the extreme. We will be paying attention to the local structures. We created an IBOS here. So this is going to be not a boss, but only an IBOS for our chart, which means this gives us the internal low. Internal high is going to be probably around here if we can retrace tomorrow. So this zone will be internal high. Right now, as we are speaking, we don't have anything here. This is going to be strong demand. this one down there, strong demand zone for our chart. Weak low, still valid. We flipped or grabbed the liquidity below the low and got to move to the upside. If you guys remember, I was taking profit on that position on Billions Club account. I took around 5k profit on the trade from the top here, from the supply, from around this zone all the way down here. So I caught the move absolutely perfectly. I was sharing this to the group also, but 2 levels, this one and the one above, that's going to be harder to find. So what we will do is we will go to the lower time frame and let's mark out some of the levels that we have here. So we can delete all of this. This is only a noise now. All of these levels are either mitigated or invalidated, so we can delete them completely. We obviously broke through a strong high. So how are we going to mark this out? Well, very simply by marking out break of a structure. So this is going to be a BOS. This is going to be the strong low right now, which means strong low is here. Strong high not put in yet because we need to get in a retracement. We need to get into a retracement phase. Once again, not yet. So strong low is here. Potentially weak high is going to be here. Very close to the strong high. And the first strong demand is going to be right here. Because this is the one that created a BOS on 15-minute time frame. We can actually do this one here. 15-minute, it's round. I'm just gonna do a line here and I'm gonna check this on 4-hour. How does it look? Alright, yeah, it's the same one. Alright, so this is the only place for buying, to be fair. Okay, make it POC also. I'll be looking for a short on EURUSD, to be fair. Let's find the strongest point here. This one was pretty strong. But I think this one is mitigated already. It's not gonna be, yeah. As you can see, we stopped here for a while, even though during the extreme volatility of NFP, we stopped here. You see how these supply and demand levels are being respected. But right now we stopped inside this supply zone. Is it the strongest one in the world? No. It's the only level that I will be paying attention to. We don't have anything else here. So it's partially mitigated, not completely yet, which means that we have some liquidity left above the high. So I'll be paying attention to local SFP, so local liquidity grab, and potentially getting into a short position on EURUSD. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, we can get stopped out, so keep that in mind. But the trade plan is that I'm looking for grabbing the liquidity, getting acceptance back, getting into short, which means stop loss above the high here. Then I'm looking for change in local structure, so that's going to be here. That means stop loss to break even. Local demand that is very likely to be tested is going to be down here. I'll be potentially taking a TP1 here, but that's the plan on EURUSD. Overall, if we are talking about probabilities, I think we are looking for something like this. If we mark out the structure, obviously we bounce from this demand level. So keep that in mind. This demand level can flip it all. So keep that in mind. It can obviously break through the strong high and continue higher. Is it likely? Well, not really. It can happen though. As always, you never know in trading, so use risk management. But if we get the entry rules, then I'll be looking for a short at least to this box here. We'll see how we're gonna react. I'm gonna take a TP1 here, and then we'll see how it goes. Or maybe I'm gonna get stopped out immediately after entering positions. This can also happen, but that will be my plan on Euro USD chart. Alrighty, cool. So gold chart, let's analyze this pair. That's gonna be the last one for today. Then I'll show you some of the news that I'm paying attention to this upcoming week. So liquidity swept above the high. That was basically here. So we can class this as a strong high, kind of. We are not expecting that this high is going to be taken again. It can happen though, as everything. The nice thing is that we flipped locally structure, means here we created an IBOS. And now this is going to be the internal high that we are paying attention to on 4-hour chart, which is not tapped yet. Or is it? Honestly, not sure. Seems like it is actually. Well, not exactly, but this small difference doesn't really matter. It's really depends on what broker you use, etc., etc. So we can class this as tapped already, which means this is our internal low now. For our time frame. Then we have this demand zone, which is mitigated. And we obviously have this supply zone here, which is being rejected now. So from what you see here, what bias do you have? Bearish, bullish? For me, it's more bearish looking as Euro USD. So personally, what I'm looking for is actually hitting this supply zone, which is mitigated already, but we created a new one, which is unmitigated. We can obviously continue straight to the downside without any retest, which can happen. I'm just gonna miss the position, but I don't want to be entering here if I can get a better entry around here. Local demand is gonna be this one. So that is currently holding the price. If we want to be more precise, then we're going to be marking out this level here. This is going to be the local demand that is currently holding the price. 15-minute time frame, back to here, naked POCs. Do we have any naked POC? Not really locally. We have one at around 1952, but that one is really far away. So the plan is, I'm remaining bearish on gold as soon as we are, and mark my words, I'm remaining bearish on gold as soon as we are below 1936. Once we will reclaim 1936 level, so let's say that we will get acceptance around 1937.5 and above, then gold is becoming much more bullish, and we are probably heading to 1952. As soon as we are below it, I'm remaining bearish, and I'll be looking for 1890 or even lower. We'll see how it goes, but that's the plan on gold. Currently, the point of interest that I have is obviously this one, 1932, local demand, 1924. So we are playing ping pong between these two levels. Do we have anything important here? No. So these levels are not extra strong, these levels are not extra good. Keep that in mind, or keep them in mind, keep them on your chart, and most likely they will be respected. Let's pay attention to the local structure here, because this was a break of a structure, which means this is going to give us the strong low. That is here, so we got to change the local structure a bit. The internal low is going to be around. This is going to be the internal high, and internal low, I'm going to place it here. So this means that the level, this is going to be the next demand zone here. 1918, 1916. So we got two levels locally, First one here, 1932. If we can reclaim 1936, we are remaining more bullish overall, and I'll be looking for 1952. If we lose local demand, then I'm looking for a scalp out of this level here, and it really depends if we can close below it or not. If we will, so we will close simply below the level and continue lower, then we are remaining more bearish, and overall we are looking for 1890. That's the plan. Let's pay attention to some upcoming news that we have this week. I think we don't have a lot of it, but let's just check it together. So tomorrow, Monday, 10th of July, we have FOMC member bar speaks, but this one is not gonna have a huge impact on the market. Usually, it's not moving with the price at all. But we'll see how it goes. Tuesday, we don't have anything on USD. Do we have something important on Euro? No. Well, we got CPI month to month from German perspective, so this will move with the price a bit. Not expecting like a huge volatility, but definitely worth to note this. Then we have a CPI on Wednesday, so that's gonna bring the first volatility on USD, which means 230 UDC plus 2. So 1:30 UDC time. Thursday PPI, same time, and Friday nothing at all. Yeah. So dates and times you need to be aware of. Thursday, 13th of July, 2:30 p.m. UDC plus 2 zone. You can open your Forex Factory, check calendar here, and you'll see your time zone. So that's gonna be the first one. Then we have a GDP month to month on GBP pairs. So it really depends what pair you trade. Since we've done TA on BTC USD, gold, and Euro USD, these are the important news. So I'm trading mostly these three pairs. Sometimes I'm trading something else, but overall I trade these three pairs most of the time. That's why I'm preparing for these. CPI Wednesday, 2:30, and apart from that, nothing at all. Yep. Alrighty. So we got a plan. We got levels. We know we are aware of the news. It's really all we need at the moment. Any questions in the chat? Nope. Probably nothing at all. All right, cool. So we got levels, we got a plan, we know what we are looking for, we know about the news that we are expecting this week. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget to join me tomorrow on a live trading session, because most likely we will be hitting some of these levels that I just marked out on a chart. So I'll show you what are the confluences, what are the things that I'm looking for when I'm taking the position. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe to Billions Club channel so you won't miss any of these streams, any of these live trading sessions, and any of these Billions Club Academy videos that we've prepared for you. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Spend some time with the family and friends, and see you tomorrow. We got a plan. That's all we need. So let's make some money again this week. All right, cool. See ya.